What's up, guys? It's Rich, back with another video for you guys today. I want to say thank you for all the love and support the channel has been receiving over the last few weeks. It has been amazing to see all this Escape from Tarkov support. I love this game, and making content for it has been a blast. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 best maps for beginners in this game, even for experienced players. These are my recommendations that might help you play and do a little bit better when it comes down to your raids and stuff like that. If you're looking for PvP, for better loot, just for some recommendations. It's a very simple video. I hope you don't expect too much from it. I want to keep it straightforward with you guys. Like I mentioned when I'm talking about the maps, if you guys want to see more in-depth guides about the maps, let me know down below. I can make loot guides and routes and strategies like that. If you're interested in my content like that, I will definitely do that, but I just want to make sure that some people are interested in doing that before I go on my way to do that. The last thing I want to talk about before I keep boring you with nonsense, I'm dropping a poll down below at the end of this video. I just want to talk about something important, not related necessarily to Escape from Tarkov directly, but it does have to do with my content and stuff like that, but we'll talk about it shortly at the end of the video, and if you're curious about it and whatnot. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, drop a like. It always helps boost it in the algorithm, and if you like my Escape from Tarkov videos, make sure you drop a sub. I have some really good, helpful, informative stuff on the channel, so make sure you check that out, guys. So let's get right into it, and let's talk about some of the best maps for beginners in Escape from Tarkov. Alright, guys, so let's get into the meaty, beefy part of this video. Let's talk about the 3 best maps. Number 1 is going to be Labs. Okay, just kidding. Number 1 is going to be Customs, followed by Woods, followed by Factory. I would call Customs the best map for beginners if you're learning multiple play styles, but Woods is a really simple map. Okay, it's very, very straightforward. You're probably not going to run into a lot of players on here. If you're trying to learn the mechanics of the games, definitely try Woods out. We're going to talk about it now, and we're going to talk about Customs, and we'll also talk a little bit about Factory. I have little snippets from each map. But I think this little triangle here is the best for beginners to get into before you start branching out. If you think about it like that, it's a little web. Stay in this little triangle, learn the mechanics of the game, learn the basics of the games. I'm not saying don't try other maps, but if you want to get really, really good a base at this game, get good with these 3 maps and then branch out from there. Streets of Tarkov is my favorite map. I want to say that it is the best for loot, hands down, if you're trying to avoid cheaters, unlike Labs. Streets of Tarkov is the best for loot, in my opinion. I will make a video on this about the best loot you can get from this map, best routes, best recommendations, some good guides about Streets from Tarkov. I love this map, so I am probably playing this map 85% of the time when I'm playing Tarkov. Other than that, guys, let's get into it. Let's talk about each of these maps. That's my recommendation. I would stay away from maps like Labs or Shoreline or Lighthouse until you really get good at the game and feel more comfortable with it. Learn the mechanics of the game, learn the basics of the game. Interchange is another classic before I get into it, but I do think that you can do better off avoiding it for now while trying to learn the game. But I won't bore you anymore. Let's talk about each of the maps. Let's see what you can do with them and get into it, guys. So not to sound bland or anything, the best map I'm going to recommend for beginners to play, I know you've probably heard this before, is going to be Customs. Customs has a lot going for it. A bunch of different areas, a bunch of different play styles work with this map. There's a lot of good areas here to visit. Number 1, if you're looking for PvP and you're looking to run into other players and you're looking to probably find the best loot on the map, will be dorms. There's a lot of rooms in these 2 buildings, a lot of keys you could use that you could find throughout your raids to use in these buildings, including safes in 2-story, marked room in 3-story. There's a lot of good stuff in both of these buildings, but a lot of players know this. So if you're expecting a lot of combat in this map, or you're looking for a lot of combat in this map, come to dorms. This is the best place to find and fight other players and find the best loot on a map. This gives you the best opportunity to get the most experience from the map, but I do not recommend coming here for your first few raids. If you see this area on the map and you recognize it and you're running up to it and it's one of your first few times raiding in the game, even if your first few days raiding in the game, probably stay away from it. You will probably get outplayed and outmaneuvered, and that is a good way to learn as well at the same time. But I also recommend your gear early on is very valuable to you, so make sure you just make smart plays and probably avoid this area until you feel more comfortable with playing in PvP and such, just from getting practice from other maps. One thing I want to show you is this has a really good extract from when you're done fighting. If you bring in 5,000 rubles, you can actually take what's called the car extract. I'm going to assume it's up here to show you guys. But this is a really good extract. Well, it's not here, but it spawns at this orange gate, and it takes a minute to extract, and you need to pay 5,000 rubles to extract from it. This is a really good extract if you've gotten some really good loot from fighting players, or if you've got them filled up from some safes and you just want to run out. This is a really quick and efficient extract that I recommend most people take if you're going to come to dorms. So just keep out an eye out for that. I generally see it spawn a lot of the times, so that's one of my best recommended areas in customs. We're going to switch over to the next area now. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about, the last area, should I say, I want to talk about on customs is going to be the main area, skeleton building. This has some really good loot in it. Definitely, I wouldn't say as good as the dorms, but I found athletics in here once before, and I've found some other really good goodies from here before, and I've fought a decent amount of players here before. This is probably, I would say, the middle of the map, or just about near it. This has scavs spawning all around it, so if you're looking for some scav kills, excuse me, this is really solid. Yeah, it's a 2-story building. Granted, when you go on the second floor, be aware you're pretty exposed from the other building over here, and if you're over here, you can also be exposed from what's called crack house, which is over here. This building has 3 to 4 crates, I believe, that spawn on the second floor up here. So these are good to loot for if you're looking for technical supplies, medical supplies, or even food. You can get all of that from here. Then you'll have the other buildings in here, or the other rooms, excuse me, that have medical supplies, weapon spawns, a medical crate. That's where I've gotten the LEDX before. And then you have another small room in here. This also has some weapon spawns and a sports bag and other goodies for you to get in there. So some decent stuff to get from there. I definitely recommend that you check this place out. If you're running through customs, make sure you hit this place. There's a bunch of other good places around customs. I don't really want to overwhelm you in this video. I kind of want to just give you my best recommendations for maps to go out and try to play the game. If you're looking for, like I said, a map guide, if you want loot routes and stuff like that, or specific maps, let me know down in the comments. I can definitely take my time out of my day to make those videos for you guys. I just don't know how much of an audience there is for that. So I want to talk about Woods. Woods is a really solid map for beginners. Woods has 3 main, I'd say, POIs, with this one, the log camp, being the main one. People call it log camp, lumberyard. This is where Sherman will spawn. He is the boss of the map. This is honestly one of the best maps for beginners if you're trying to avoid other players and avoid combat and just kind of learn the basics of the game, the mechanics, if you will, the movements, the inventory system while in raid, and hunting some scavs. You'll have a really good time on this map because you can avoid a lot of players by avoiding, realistically, this main hotspot. The other areas are a lot lighter in terms of running into players. The med camp, which I will show you now. So this right here, this is the med camp. This would probably be the second most contested area on the map. If you're trying to really avoid players, you could really avoid both of these 2 areas, but this is really good if you need some of those med items for your hideout and or quest items. This has some really good spawns in here. Has multiple crates, multiple med bags. Definitely give this a look. Woods does have a chance to spawn LEDXs, so definitely if you're looking for some of those, you can always check some of these crates out. It's a really good area. I definitely recommend it. If you're still trying to learn the game, maybe avoid it. Maybe avoid lumberyard as you try and just continue to learn the mechanics of the game. But I think Woods is a really, really good map for beginners. Even those that don't say it's rich on loot, I would actually go as far to say it is pretty heavy loot side. You do have to do more work than the other maps because of the amount of running you have to do. But if you hit the 3 main areas, which would be the lumberyard, the med camp, and then the scav town in the back, if you could even hit USEC camp and USEC convoy, I'm sorry, and the radio tower in the back left of the map, you'll actually have some really, really solid loot in here. All right, so I want to talk about what makes Factory a semi-good map for beginners. A couple of things to go into this map. One, it's the smallest map out there on Escape from Tarkov. Number 2, it's a really, really heavy PvP map in terms of how quickly you'll run into other players. When you spawn, you'll most likely run into a player within the next 10-15 seconds. So as a semi-beginner, I would definitely recommend playing this map with some light and cheap gear if you're trying to improve your combat mechanics. So if you're trying to focus on getting better at killing players, learning where to aim, getting better with your weapons, and getting better at PvP, Factory is a really good map to bring in some cheap guns, run into the office building, and prepare for some combat there, and prepare how movement works. If you want to practice your movement during fights, this is a really good map for that. I think it's a semi-beginner map. I wouldn't call it the best beginner map, but if you're trying to improve your PvP, definitely recommend checking this map out. It's one of my top 3 beginner maps. Obviously number 3 because I said semi-beginner, but it's the best for combat out of all the beginner maps. So we're at the end of the video, and I want to say thank you for taking time out of your video to watch my video. I just want to do a quick poll. I don't want to take up any more of your time than I need to. I do enjoy live streaming, but mainly over the last few weeks I've been focused on making YouTube content, and I have absolutely loved it. It has been amazing. as this audience grows and grows and grows, I am curious if I were to start live streaming, what platform would be best for people to watch on. I have streamed in Kick a lot over the last few months, I would say, but I am also still have my channel over on Twitch. I know that Kick has a really good payout for subscribers, for creators and stuff like that with subscribers. But if I can still grow a content better on another platform, let me know. If you guys would end up dropping an answer to the poll down below, which channel would you prefer me streaming on? Would it be, which platform would you prefer me streaming on? Would it be Twitch or Kick? I am curious, or even YouTube. But I am curious what you guys think, and I want to start producing some more live streaming content whenever I'm playing the game. So let me know down below, guys. Thank you again for taking time out every day to watch this video. Peace out.